Marcus. Marcus is a pure blessing from God. We know that God sent him here on assignment for more than just a short season, which we're very pleased with. What you don't know about Mark is other than he has a heart for the things of God, and he has a heart to see people connect with God. He is also a writer. So I can't wait to see where all that goes with everything that's here. And so just be ready to receive.
Thank you. Pastor Chuck called me about an hour ago and said, he called me to encourage me and said, be sure and tell everybody, I love you. So I have given the message. I want to welcome the internet audience. I know that people from at least 3 states are watching tonight. Let's see. Virginia, my mother in Charlottesville. Hello, Mumsy. And my college friends in Virginia, Pennsylvania, and maybe California. My prayer partner, David Barnes, in Dallas, Texas. Lieutenant Barnes, I salute you. Okay. Now, I'm going to make a statement, and I want you to tell me who it reminds you of. Okay, tonight, to start my message, I'm going to read a section from my upcoming book. Okay, that's Pastor Chuck. Love you, Pastor Chuck. But I say that because I'm going to do the same thing. We're working on a book. I'm going to read a short section of it, and then you'll know what my talk is about. This is from the book, A Greater Harvest of Souls, subtitle, 31 Ways to Reach Non-Believers, Even If You're No Good at Witnessing. Because I happen to know somebody who's no good at witnessing, okay? He's an expert on this stuff. Okay, I'm here tonight to bring you good news and plenty of it. Tonight I will bring you solutions and answers. But for me to bring you these solutions and answers, I have to tell you what the problem is. I have to clearly define the problem for you. So forgive me for being negative for just 1 minute. For me to tell you what the problem is, I have to use what may be your least favorite word. There's a good chance your least favorite word is evangelism. What other word can so quickly put us under the pile and make us feel fearful, guilty, full of dread, frustration, or other negative emotions? What other word can make us feel so defeated and so second-rate? You see, we know we should evangelize more, but for the most part, we just don't. Some just willfully decide that they're not going to do it. Rebellion, disobedience, whatever you want to call it. But for many of us, other reasons come into play. Reasons like outright terror, perhaps a lack of training, or the misconception or gnawing suspicion that if you really surrender to God in this area of your life, He's going to make you miserable by sending you some dreaded place and making you be a missionary. Or maybe you feel like you don't fit the Great Commission, like your personality, your interests, your abilities just don't mesh well with the Great Commission. Maybe you just don't feel like you can be a missionary or witness to people all the time. Maybe you have other reasons. Whatever your negative emotions about evangelism, whatever your reasons are for not evangelizing more, whatever negative things, still there are several really positive things that I believe are true about you. First, you love God. Second, you're grateful to Him for giving you salvation and helping you in your daily life. Third, you are looking forward to heaven and your eternal reward. Fourth, you really do care enough about others to wish for them to have the same things that you have in Christ. You do. Now, these are very positive things, and there's even one more positive thing I believe about you. I believe I can say about you with reasonable certainty that if you could find someone who would affirm who you are and what God has made you to be, who would show you how you already fit into the Great Commission, just the way you are, who would provide you with practical and doable ways to spread the gospel, who would show you ways to spread the gospel that are appropriate for you personally, ways that will have an enduring influence, and who would show you evangelism methods that don't create those negative emotions we just talked about, methods that could greatly increase the gospel seeds you sow and could multiply many times over your eternal harvest of souls. I believe if you could find somebody like that who would do that for you, you would want to hear more. And that's exactly what I'm going to do for you. The evangelism methods and principles I bring you tonight will liberate you. It will motivate you. They'll give you tracks to run on. And you can do these things. And you will. You will sow more gospel seeds into people's lives. You will find evangelism methods that are doable and practical for you. You will find ways that are appropriate for you to do what you are and what your calling is. You will get rid of the guilt complexes, thank you, and all the negative emotions about evangelism, thank you, and you will have a sense of victory in this area, not defeat. People will come to Christ through the seeds that you plant in their lives. And you will enjoy your reward in heaven forever and ever. And you will get knocks on your door at your mansion from these people. How cool is that? Okay, now let's start with the practical ways. First, memorizing your 3-minute salvation testimony so that you can be ready to give it. Now, there's several advantages to doing this. One is it's just plain easy. It'll take maybe 1 or 2 hours to do. Number 2, it's your story, so you're probably not going to forget it. Okay? Number 3, because it's your story, you'll be more natural telling it. Okay? If you memorize maybe the 4 spiritual laws, what if you forget part of it? Okay? You might get nervous. But if you're telling your story, it's going to be a lot more natural. Fourth, in a postmodern culture, everybody's story is valid. And so people are going to probably listen. And you know what's going to happen if you do this? Oh, let me tell you how to do it. One of the things that you have to do is you write it down first. And you say, well, how do I write my personal Christian testimony? Good question. Here's what you do. Log on to the internet, and in your favorite search engine, type in how to write your personal testimony. I did this the other day. There's a bunch of websites out there that run you through a way to do this. I don't have to tell you tonight. You can do it yourself. I did this with Campus Crusade years ago, and it is so easy. You write it down. You make sure it's about 3 minutes. Now, why 3 minutes? Because if it's any longer, the people may get bored. I hate to say it. It's true. But if it's any shorter, you may leave out so much that they don't get into the story. Everybody loves stories. Okay? So look it up on the internet, how to write your personal Christian testimony. You will get websites on how to do that. Write it down. You memorize it. Again, it's easy. It's your story. You can do this. And then you tell somebody. You say, Betty, I'm going to call you. I'm memorizing my 3-minute testimony. Can I call you in a couple of days? And if you have 3 minutes, will you just listen to me say it from memory? Say yes. Okay. And that's how you do it. And the thing is, because you know your own story, once you memorize it, you're probably not going to forget it. And it's so natural when you're talking to somebody at the checkout line or something like that, you can tell your story. And you know what's going to happen if you do? When you're in your mansion in heaven, and this is biblical, you will have a mansion in heaven. You know what's going to probably happen? You'll open the door. Somebody maybe you never met or just barely remember is going to be there, and they're going to say, are you Steve Gigliotti? Say yes. You may not remember me, but you shared your testimony with me. And I shouted you down because I thought you were stupid. But you know what? I never forgot it. And 2 days later, God got a hold of my heart, and I prayed to receive Christ. And you're going to say, get in here and let's glorify God together for an hour. Is that going to be cool? Now, I'm telling you, these things work.